My goodness. And we're back. I just had to go block Patrick Henry because he's doing that thing that they do when they get upset eat spaghetti, where he's commenting on every single video with the same comment. So he had to get blocked. The upset is crazy. The obsession is wild. Like, dude, you could just come back tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow, and you can crash out again. It's fine. You didn't have to do that. Wasn't necessary. But thank you guys for coming back. Got a message that said, from Patrick. I got a message that's not from Patrick, from somebody else, and it says back. I'll post it in the Discord later. Don't know what that means, but okay, sure, whatever. So you guys know the dealio. Do all the good things. Boop that screen. Share the live out. If you haven't done your daily heart me, thank you, Brandatello. Just did the daily heart me to perfectly show it. Great timing. We can start getting that boosted and going. Yeah, true. That's true. I've done that for some people. Like when MAGA comments on my videos, most of the time I don't care. If you're gonna start doing it on spam doing it, no. Let's see. I want to post this. Have it. Alan, you support Trump. Let's come talk about it. Let's talk about why you're still supporting him. Yeah, they will go really far back too, like really old videos, and you're like, why are we doing this? Okay. You never supported Trump, Eddie? Love to hear that. We love to see that. Let's do desktop. He's better than the Democrats. That's why you currently support him? Let's talk about that.
What?
Thank you, Leah. We appreciate that so much.
So I was scrolling through Ground News. There's an article that states U.S. fertility drops new low in 2024.
Like the amount of children we're having, or like
our fertility rate.
Right. My foot's falling asleep, Jasper. Oh, jeez. Now I've got multiple people.
Cowboys
James,
is a
how
friendly.
are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing well. Did you vote for Trump?
I sure did.
Okay. Why are you still supporting him?
Better than the Democrats.
That's why you're still supporting him?
Yep.
What policy does he have that's more beneficial to you?
It's more a social thing for me.
It's what?
More the social issues.
Like what? Like what, James? Okay. Your bar has terrible MAGA Wi-Fi. Well, Brian, he was either going to say immigration or trans people.
I was banking on abortion.
Well, men and women sports, that's what was going to happen. His O2 got disconnected. Dawn is out for blood today. Oh, Cowboy, you're fine.
Yeah, Cowboys is a friendly. That's why I dropped you, love.
Towhead, let's talk about the Democrats lying about the Russian collusion. Since you guys fell for Donald Trump's trap, he wanted to distract you, and you're falling for it hook, line, and sinker. Let's talk about it.
Can I help you, sir?
The Russian collusion that definitely happened. Not saying by Trump, but people definitely went to jail for that. Adam, come talk about it. What did Obama do? I didn't say Democrats are better. I'm not a Democrat. Adam, how
Yeah.
are you today?
I'm doing all right.
All right, what did
Killing
Obama
time
do?
on my lunch break.
Okay. What did Obama do?
So I don't know how closely you're watching the news lately,
Mm-hmm.
but Obama is under a lot of fire and potentially
what?
an investigation for Russian collusion
For what?
during the. He was part of the team that authorized the fake Russian dossier.
He didn't authorize it.
No, I said he was part of the team. They went out and they created a fake dossier that said Trump.
Who put together the dossier?
It was a whole team of people actually,
Who originally did?
and it was who originally put it together.
Yeah.
No, I don't know who put it together. I just know who directed it. But anyway, Trump did not hire Russian prostitutes to urinate on him. And that's what the
Who
Russian
was talking
dossier
about
said.
that? Nobody was talking about that. Whoa, hold on. That's wild.
That's
I mean,
yeah. That's
no, I've
that's
heard
what it
about it.
said.
But why are we bringing that up? Oh my gosh, I keep doing that one. I don't mean to do that one.
Did I actually, like... I'm gonna come back. BRB. Hang on. Did you actually fucking say that?
Like, yes, we've all heard about that. We're aware. What does that have to do with
Yeah.
what we're talking about in way of Obama directing them to fake information that's not fake? Like, Tulsi Gabbard hasn't released anything we didn't already know. That's what we're saying.
Right. So, I mean, that's just.
But what about
and
them Epstein files?
What about them?
Why aren't they getting released?
How the heck would I know? Well, I can guess why they're not getting released, but I don't know.
And why is that?
Obviously, at that level, what? Because there are people on that list that the powers that are in control do not want out.
I agree.
Huh. So,
he campaigned
like
on
Trump?
doing it.
Like Trump being on that
no,
list?
no, I
Like Trump.
totally agree. He can't. No, I don't think Trump himself is on the client list.
What do you mean?
He's in the
Were you not
contact
alive
list.
during
That's
May?
been released.
Were you not alive during May?
Well, here's the thing. I will say, again, and I keep saying this, I'm not sure that there's some sort of complete ledger client list type of thing. However, when it comes to the files, he damn sure is in there. Or he wouldn't be doing, well, one, we now have found out that Pam Bondi told him this in May, let alone the fact that he is trying to hide it as much as he is.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. He's in the contact list. Ivana and Ivanka were in the contact list. That stuff was already released, and the names around them were redacted. Make of that what you will.
Right.
I don't think that he would be on the client list. I think it's
Why?
the people that are pulling his strings, if that makes sense.
Sure. Well, I think he would because they were really close friends. I think they were friends doing gross things to children.
There's no evidence of that.
Who's Katie Johnson?
I don't know.
It's one of the girls that
younger-
came out. It's one of the girls that came out being SA'd by Trump on Epstein's Island.
She accused Epstein
Katie
and Trump.
Johnson?
Yes.
Katie Johnson, look her up.
I will. I'm writing that down. I'm at work, so I have to go old school. Interesting. I have not heard that. Where did you hear about that?
We had the release of her civil case. Hold on, let me find her. These are the 16 other women that accused him of things.
Well, accused, but is there any evidence? Because anybody can accuse anybody of anything.
Is Jeffrey Epstein guilty?
Am I wrong?
Is Jeffrey Epstein guilty of trafficking children?
Jeffrey Epstein is dead.
He's unalived. You're right. I can't say that word because TikTok's is a big baby. He is, but did he traffic children?
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh my God, I'm not going to get you in trouble, am I?
No, you should be fine. You only said it once. It's fine. I hate it. TikTok needs to go.
I'm sorry.
You're fine.
Okay.
But do you believe that he is responsible for trafficking children?
Oh, 100%. 100%.
But he's only been
that guy
accused
trafficked
of it. It's only accusations.
No, I would say if no, I don't. I would not say that there's only accusations. I'll tell you this: I would be 100% shocked if evidence came out that he was doing anything other than, like, if it was everything except for that one thing, I'd be shocked.
Sure, I could agree with you on that. What I would say is, do you believe in, or I guess what I would ask you is, do you believe in the idea of where there's smoke, there's fire?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's
I
a
could
lot
agree
of
with that.
smoke around Trump.
There is. I just don't think the fire is on him directly.
I think it is. He wouldn't be hiding this much if it wasn't. Do I think that there's probably big donors and stuff involved too? Yeah, I would agree with you on that. But I also think he's implicated.
Yeah, I'm really hesitant to say that it's him directly. I would definitely put it at the people who are donating, people in charge of his super PACs, people who are probably threatening to pull the funding for whoever's going to run in 2028. And that's probably why nothing has been done with it.
Yeah, but we should be concerned about that because he was going to be so transparent this presidency. And yet, here we are.
Yeah, he has not been as transparent as I would hope on quite a few things. I think that's the case of him not realizing the consequences of saying, I'm going to be transparent, and then realizing, oh God, I can't be that transparent. I think he overestimated his ability to be transparent.
Sure. I would say that puts him into trouble, not just with the left, who, I'm not going to lie, that we're going to be petty and not let it go, but also he decided to throw his hat in with conspiracy theorists. Now, I'm not saying you are one. I'm saying there's a certain group of his base that are conspiracy theorists. And the problem with conspiracy theorists are the lack of evidence is more evidence to them. So the more that he runs from this and hides from it, they're going to see more and more shady stuff and see more evidence to them. And that's going to be a problem for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also, why would you make this part of your whole campaign? You know, why would you say you're running on this?
I think, well, I don't know because I'm not part of his campaign staff, but what I think was going on is that he thought he was going to, quote unquote, drain the swamp, and he was going to uncover a bunch of names who were left leaning, right? Left supporting, because most of the celebrities and things like that in Hollywood especially, they're very left leaning. So he figures, oh, well, I'll just push out this Epstein list and then it'll be a bunch of left leaning names and I'll drain the swamp and ruin the Democrats. And then Pam Bondi gets a hold of the list and it's some right leaning super PACs.
I mean, sure. I just think people who think he's never lied to them, if he's lying about this, what else has he lied about?
I'm definitely not going to say Trump has never lied. That's insane.
Yeah.
So I mean, is he a perfect person? Absolutely not. Um, is he better than the alternative? 100%.
See, how is he a better alternative?
Then Kamala Harris?
Kamala. But yeah, how is he a better alternative?
I think that she would have wrecked this country. I don't think
How?
she had a clue what she was doing.
With what policies would she have wrecked the country?
I think she would have done what the socialists did in Venezuela to that country.
What happened in Venezuela?
They were actually one of the leading countries economically, and then
Mhm.
they voted
And what
for
happened?
socialists,
No.
and now they're
No.
What did their president try to do?
With assistance from us.
Well, no, before that. Then we came in. We tried to socialize. They tried to nationalize a certain commodity.
Oil? Oh, very similar to like what we do in Iran.
And you can actually, what's his name? Bolton actually came out and admitted that they had put in a coup to overthrow him because they know that corporations want access to that oil and here in America. And so they overthrew him and instituted a dictator, Operation Gideon. Thank you, Eli. The same thing we've done in many, many countries. My thing is if they are socialist and its socialism is so bad, just let it fail on its own. Why do we have to interfere?
hold on, Operation Gideon. I think after this, I'm going to be on Google for a bit. All right.
Hey, I appreciate that, Adam.
There's
I actually
nothing
really
wrong
do
with that.
appreciate that.
Honestly,
that you are
there's-
willing to look at stuff and actually read it. Most people just go, nuh-uh, and yell at me. It's fine.
and don't like there's nothing wrong with like sitting down and actually doing research with it. I know a lot of people like in today's standards would be like politics isn't everything, but on the contrary, every single decision that someone makes, especially in your local areas, will openly affect you on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, I can see that. No, I don't. I think people would say, "Oh, not important." I think that's the way of burying your head in the sand,
Mm-hmm.
especially at the local level, because those are the ones that affect you the most.
Yeah, I think that there's just, I don't see, I guess I would ask you, Adam, what is socialism?
So, socialism, as I understand it, is that people work, uh, doing what they can, and the government provides for some of their basic needs. It involves high levels of taxation,
No.
and
That sounds like
No?
communism, but then no, that sounds like communism, but there wouldn't be taxes. So socialism, all socialism is an economic plan where the workers own the means of production. So we all are allowed to have a stake in whatever job we are working.
yeah, but in order to provide for the social welfare, you have to increase taxes. Every socialist country on earth,
We don't have any
As-
socialist countries.
none.
No. They're all capitalist countries with socialist programs. It's not
Okay,
socialism.
that's fair. That's fair. I would say there are more socialist leaning countries. Like I would argue Norway
Sure.
is way more socialist than we are.
And how are their education outcomes and how are their healthcare outcomes?
Compared to ours,
Yeah.
better.
Mm-hmm.
But then you look at somewhere like Canada, which has socialized healthcare.
Yeah.
And that's a nightmare.
No, their outcomes are still better than ours.
I'd have to look. The reason I say it's a nightmare is because being up there and talking to people who've been from there and having friends there, it's not great.
Well, this is my friendly, lovely Canadian.
Hi, Adam.
Hi, Megan.
I don't really care about your anecdotes. My healthcare is freaking fantastic, and it will not put me out of my house and home.
Okay.
So, what questions about Canadian healthcare do you have that I can clear up for you? Because clearly, and I actually, hold on, let me start this. When you said the word unalived, you had a very moment of genuineness. I really appreciated because you cared about Bonnie's space. So, I just have a dry, sarcastic, angry sounding voice sometimes. I have resting bitch voice. But I recognize that you're here to.
Bitch voice is crazy.
It's true. Like, if you can't see my face, I sound far more bitchier than I am. My face tells you I'm just being sarcastic and joking. So anyway, I recognize you are here to learn. Like, I came in hot and sarcastic because I'm a little proud of my country. But yeah, like Canadian healthcare, we have room for improvement, but it is not the nightmare misconception a lot of Americans have.
Really anecdotal, Adam, right? If we had the opportunity to like have like universal health care and stuff like that, people with situations who can't afford to, I don't know, get a simple tooth fixed, dealing with the infection and stuff like that, wouldn't have to sit in agony and pain because I don't want to pull out a fucking loan just to fix my fucking mouth. You know what I mean?
Like, I learned just last week, your healthcare, like your employer healthcare doesn't include vision and dental, and that blew my mind. I am shocked still.
I guess that depends on your employer.
Yeah, no, it does, but I think that that's part of the problem. It shouldn't. It should
But-
not depend. You shouldn't like worry about getting braces for your child who desperately needs them
Sure.
because your job that you've been working for 10 years doesn't offer dental.
I have a full-time job, right? Full-time job as an educator. I don't get insurance. I don't get health care.
No, I know my son has a full-time job and he doesn't get health care either.
A lot of places aren't doing that anymore.
Yeah, so if we had a system where our taxes, maybe they were a little higher at the beginning, we know that looking at plans like Bernie Sanders' plan, we know that it would be higher at the beginning, but it would actually be lower in the long term than what we're currently paying in healthcare a year. And every single person would get access to healthcare. It's not free. I don't like the term free. It's
No,
single
definitely.
payer. You just don't pay at point of purchase, right? So that's fine. But it would be cheaper in the long run than what we're paying now.
And I'd like to add, like, this year I launched my business, right? And we talk about how important, entrepreneurs and such are to the economy. I would not be in any position to be able to leave my job and start a business because I have healthcare needs. I'm a person with a disability. Like, now I can, and I can contribute to the economy in an incredible and meaningful way, and like all these other benefits, and I get to hire people soon, like within my first year. Anyway, I will go on, but like there are multiple benefits to having healthcare covered.
Okay, and I can understand that, but then you've got, so Obama put forward the Affordable Care Act, which, in my opinion, is an unmitigated disaster.
Why?
Why? Because my son has a full-time job and he goes on the Affordable Care Act website, and the best healthcare that he can afford doesn't cover all of his needs. So he still would be paying in to a system that's not taking care of him.
Right, but a lot of the stipulation and restrictions on that were things that were put in by Republicans to get the votes, because we didn't have the votes for it. Republicans said, we will not give you the vote to pass this unless you put these stipulations in, because we have a lot of insurance company friends.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I can understand that. I'm not,
go ahead, Adam. Sorry.
no, go ahead.
I think that, as far as the pricing point that you made, that's more so a problem with the insurance company, right? Because they are the ones that ultimately set the price, right? They're the ones that put the price tag on the product, right? And I mean, the system is going to kind of put certain requirements in place, but the company is the one that sets that price. And so your ire should be with the company and not with the government or Obamacare or the Democrats or universal health care. I lived in the UK for a few years, and I got to experience their universal healthcare system. It's called the NHS, National Health Service. And I mean, I can tell you about my experience. If you're curious, there's plenty of different ways to do universal healthcare. Every country's a little bit different, but they all agree on the same thing, which is that yeah, it needs to. The single payer is the way to go. Privatized healthcare is just, or privatized health insurance. I'm gonna end up saying healthcare. I mean health insurance. Anytime that we talk about universal healthcare or single payer healthcare, you need to keep in mind it's not health care, right? It's not the doctors and the nurses and the people at the hospitals. It is health insurance. It is who foots the bill, right? It's the card that you pull out and hand to the front desk person whenever you're leaving, right? It's that. It is not, hey, my doctor is, Dr. Sue, and tomorrow it's going to be Dr. Bob because of universal healthcare. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. So, when I immigrated to the UK, I was married to a British citizen because, things. Anyway, that I had to pay what is essentially like a catch up fee. So I think it ended up being like $1,500, $2,000, something like that at the time. And that was me as somebody not in the country coming into the country and getting access to the NHS. So the logic behind that is you have not been paying into this system your entire life. You're coming into this country as an immigrant. So you've got to pay like a lump sum and then you're going to get access. So, I mean, it makes sense. And I mean, it was a lot of money, but I did it. And was it perfect? No. Was it better than the American health insurance system? Absolutely. And I say that as somebody who grew up in a poor family in rural Georgia. A single mother raised me for the first 8 years of my life. And both my mom and my stepdad, they both have not great health, right? And I was a clumsy little bastard growing up, and so I broke a lot of bones. That didn't help whenever you've got two parents that are, they have high school diplomas and they're working at, a factory making $10 an hour. It's not great for them financially. And because of that, their health suffered, and the finances suffered. I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's right. I think that when it comes to health, when it comes to someone's health, it's one of those things like, what would you pay? What price would you put on your life, on like being healthy? There is no price, right? You'd pay anything ultimately. And that's why it's not fair. It's not right to leave that to market forces. It's not right to leave that to entities that exist to make money. Companies. Companies exist to make money, right? And okay, cool, whatever, go make your money. Not in this. This is off the table. There's certain things that should be off the table. This is one of them. But yeah, I know I kind of gave a monologue just then. I apologize.
No, it's okay.
If you have
No,
questions
you have
about
a
the
lot of good
NHS
points.
and my experience, I'm happy to answer like how much I paid and the whole thing. Go for it.
I'd like to touch on one thing you said is, companies shouldn't be making money on, people's health. And that's one of my biggest complaints about the Affordable Care Act is that you are paying into insurance companies. You select Blue Cross Blue Shield, for example, and then you pay into them. So they're still making the money. The other issue is that when you say you shouldn't be making money on people's health, you're going to create a giant black hole because 40% of our nation's GDP is based on healthcare. So you're going to rip out 40% of our country's money making. that's a huge problem.
How so?
How
Like,
so what?
and I'm not trying to be like
So-
I'm not trying to be dense. So when you say that 40% of our GDP is based on healthcare, can you like kind of expand on that? Give me like a few examples.
Yeah, so 40% of the money that we make as a country comes from people being sick, people getting hurt, people paying insurance, people needing medicine, things like that.
Okay. I mean, so people are still going to get sick, people are still going to get hurt, and people are still going to need medicine and surgeries and all the things, right? The healthcare aspect of this isn't going to change. The pricing could change. It should change because we are paying entirely too much money, right? But the majority of that cost is the insurance company, right? Like a common thing that comes up is if I tell a doctor I don't have insurance, I'm going to get a certain price. If I give them my insurance, I might end up paying more. I'm going to get a different price, right? Why is that? The answer is the insurance company effectively requires billing that is different from however much a thing costs, like a procedure or whatever it is that they offer, whatever it costs. They mandate this. Otherwise they won't cover. So the doctor isn't the one screwing you over most of the time, like the overwhelming majority of the time. I've talked to physicians. I've talked to hospital administrators. I've talked to pretty much every person in the chain for healthcare, right? All the way until you hit insurance. And yeah, they're like, I mean, we're not screwing people over on prices. We're not, jacking up prices for no reason. The majority of that money that you pay us ends up going to the insurance company. And I mean, you take them out of the picture, like what does that do? Let's just say that tomorrow, magically, Blue Cross, Blue Shield, Cigna, Aetna, all of them, they disappear. All right, well, people that work at those insurance companies, they're going to lose their job. That sucks, right? I know, I'm unemployed. It really fucking sucks. But the healthcare aspect won't change, right?
Like the actual care people are receiving.
Yeah.
I think it would. I think it would change. I think you would get a lower standard of care. The reason for that is when you look back at when Obama was campaigning on the Affordable Care Act, when he was trying to push it. And he made a speech about, well, okay, so you have a heart problem. Rather than go get a heart transplant, take an aspirin. Don't get the bypass, just take an aspirin. Well, if I need a bypass, if I need heart surgery, and I can pay for it in the capitalist system, right? I can go get it. If I want to pay the premiums and my insurance will cover it, I can go get it. That's better for me than taking an aspirin. It solves the problem. So you inject all those unemployed people into the system. You open up healthcare to being, I don't want to say free, but single payer.
Yep.
So now everybody can go and get it. So now you've got lines at the doctor's office for
I
every
am
cough, sniffle, and sneeze.
so happy you said this, Adam, because something has literally happened while we're on this call. Do you mind if I share right now? I'm really excited to share this.
No, go ahead.
So I think I have ADHD. As a 30-something-year-old femme, often goes undiagnosed. I asked a temp doctor, because my doctor was on vacation, for a referral to an ADHD clinic, was told it would take 2 years, which I was like, okay, no problem, I'm not urgent. If I wanted to go private, I would have to pay about $600, which is no big deal. But like I said, just started a business, I'll wait the 2 years. Had a doctor's appointment on Friday for something unrelated. She looked and said, oh, right, you referral. We have a new ADHD clinic here. I won't dox myself, opening up. Do you want a referral there? And I just got the request for like deep sales and times my assessments in August.
Oh, wow.
There's no, and I don't have to pay a dime. Like these ideas around wait times people think of are vastly misunderstood and like over exaggerated. And oh yes, and Defendus Trans has a really great point. Like I'm very confused about your aspirin point, but I did want to specifically address like these wait time claims, not an issue that you think they are.
I only think they're an issue because of friends that I've had that live in Canada that have told me about the wait time issue. And I know you said you're not interested in my anecdotes, but
No, it's okay because I
um,
gave you one, but like I know
right.
that those are claims, but it often is like it's a triage system, right?
Okay.
So if they have a long wait time, it might not be urgent, right? Like it's going to depend on what it is, and like I'm sorry if you've got something life threatening, the guarantee of urgency is vastly more important to me than, well, my headache. Or actually, you know what? I was having I had something an MRI that was completely unurgent. I was like, I don't care. Like, take your time. Still got in less than a year.
Well, and from what I've looked at and researched when it comes to wait times in Canada, it's like you said, a triage system, and it's not uncommonly similar to things that we have in regards to specialty care. There are going to be longer wait times for specialty care versus just routine appointments. Will I concede in some form that if the US started single payer healthcare tomorrow, that there wouldn't be some run on the system? There might be. I think a lot of people will be super excited to just be able to finally get that mouth pain handled or get that bump looked at on their arm. I think that that's true, but I also think that that'll ebb. It's not going to stay like that consistently. That's going to decrease, and we can subsidize and find ways to work around that. And then you're going to have it drop substantially because now people are going to have access to preventative care. One of the biggest problems in our country is that people don't go to preventative appointments. There might be nothing absolutely wrong with you, but you don't go to your yearly check-ins. You just don't do it. And you wait until something is so wrong and hurts so bad that you have to go. And by then, yeah, you are drowning in thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars in debt, like Olive with her tooth, because they can't afford to even go to preventative appointments.
And it's not even just that. It's again, we live in a society where it's such a reactive society instead of a proactive society. And I feel like especially when it comes to medical care in different, walks of life, not everyone views the doctor as the same thing. You know what I mean? So when we talk about something like universal healthcare and things like that, I don't think it's such a bad thing. I think even to start it really small, universal mental health care. We all talk about mental health being a huge problem in this country. How come we don't start there?
But we have blueprints for this. We don't have blueprints. The VA, Medicare, we have the blueprint to be able to do this. This is not impossible. And my biggest thing when it comes to our healthcare system and knowing how well the healthcare outcomes are in other countries, if ours was so good, other countries would be trying it, and they're not.
Wrong. There's room for improvement,
Of
I
course.
think, in all single payer outcomes. I have a long list of how Canada can improve, but I would never trade us for what you have. I would trade us for others, but not the US.
But I just
See, and
oh, sorry, Adam,
oh,
go ahead.
go ahead.
No, you finish.
No, Adam, go ahead. You've been quiet this whole time while all of us have been going.
So I have a friend in Canada, and this came up recently, and this is one of the reasons that I'm really against any kind of universal health care. So she doesn't have her, I think like the bottom half of her right arm, just doesn't have it. So she got a prosthetic, and she made use of that. And she's been doing a lot of bodybuilding and weightlifting. Well, when you do bodybuilding and weightlifting, what happens? Your limbs grow. So she went to her doctor and she said, hey, my limbs are growing because I'm working out. Can I get a different, bigger, more well-suited prosthetic? And she was denied. And I said, no. I said, use the one you have. If you want a new one, then it'll be because your old one is worn out. And if you want that to fit better, stop working out so much. And so
Oh, wait,
she
Adam,
was
I have one
basically
really
given a
important
choice.
question. What province is she
Yes.
in? What province?
God, my Canadian geography sucks. Edmonton.
Yeah, that'll be why. What? So, um, how long ago was this?
2 years ago.
So what the current, like our healthcare, I will use American terms, I think, maybe to explain it to you just faster. Like our states are in control of healthcare. Like our provinces and territories, your equivalent of state. So the feds will like manage giving out money, but the actual process of healthcare is managed by each province, aka like our states. And what Alberta, where your friend lives, is trying to do is essentially turn it into the US. Like Alberta currently is wanting to secede from Canada. What they're doing is out to water, but their healthcare system, especially right now, is an actual clusterfuck.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that it was by province.
Yeah.
I thought it was.
Yeah. Like, and now again, so currently I'm in BC. I'm Alberta's neighbor. I spent almost 5 years in Ontario, and like I was in like Toronto, downtown Toronto, and our healthcare there was fucking fantastic. Sorry, I'm swearing too much. Like that was the sole reason I did not want to leave Toronto in the middle of the panini. But I moved back because every other reason, right? Like that, but healthcare was good enough in Toronto. I was like, I almost don't want to leave. BC's good. I'll still take it over Alberta. Don't get me wrong, but like it's provincially mandated.
Okay, so that I didn't know. So I thought that her experience would be more universal across the country, like anybody in, say, BC or Ontario would have that same experience.
No, and
And I
what
was like, well, that sucks
what
because I can
even
right now. Oh, go ahead.
sorry, really quickly, like in BC, what I could have done for her in my last job, I worked in employment support services, and if she had a case where it was impacting her work, I could have gotten her an arm, and I'm not even in the medical system.
Right, and that it's not even her work; it's quality of life.
Exactly,
She
but like
just likes
because
to
that
do
was
it.
like I could have made that happen for her because of that reason. Like that's the type of work I would do before I left my company.
Right. So that's why I'm hesitant about the whole single payer system. Because again, if I have the means, I can just go and I can just pay for it.
I mean, but putting aside even the fact that, like Megan explained, that the provinces are different, what you just explained to me was that your friend was able to get a prosthetic. They just were having trouble getting a replacement. We are in a system where you can't even get your first prosthetic.
No, and that,
My province, I could get her a prosthetic, and I'm not
a
in
new
the
one that
medical
fits her
system.
and lets her continue to weight lift, because that was the issue. Right. So, and those kind of things are my experience. So I'm like, well, hell, here I can go get a new prosthetic if I want to.
Just want to make sure you understand. Like, I did not work in the medical system, and I could get her a prosthetic for free.
Yeah. See, to me, that's crazy.
I know it's wonderful. Like, it would be
Well,
within the medical
when you
system
say for
still.
free, what do you mean?
I mean, I would have the ability to go to my province and make the case that says her work is impacted. She is at risk of losing her employment because her prosthetic doesn't fit properly and it is impacting her ability to work. Therefore, it is far more prudent for us to get her a better arm.
Okay.
And there's a
what
little
if it's
back and
not
forth.
impacting her work?
Yeah, because that was the position, like I was in a position of supporting people with their employment, and particularly persons with disabilities. And if like with that, yeah, I could absolutely make a case that she's at risk of losing her employment.
Well, and that's why I don't understand why we don't move towards it in the US, because the US is such a capitalist machine that I don't agree with, but it's a machine of capitalism, and all they need is workers, 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 bodies, bodies, bodies. And if you have people who are not able to work because they can't get the health care they need to be able to do so, how is that helping them? So we want to bleed them dry of their money with insurance companies and also at the same time use them and work them into the ground.
You make me want to put my tinfoil hat on.
I know it's really hard because it sounds too good to be true.
Right.
And do
It's not
not get
perfect.
me
I'll never
wrong.
say that it's a perfect system. There will be stuff we have to work out with it.
And don't get me wrong, like that, it would take me work to do. It would not be an easy journey. We would have to work with her doctors, but it's doable.
So I'm going to say this without trying to sound too much like a conspiracy theorist. In capitalism, especially now, it's not workers, workers, workers. Because if I can get a machine to do your job, I don't need you to do the job. And I don't have to pay a machine health care.
Sure.
I don't have to give a machine PTO,
Yep.
paternity leave,
Yep.
maternity leave, sick leave.
Where does that leave the worker?
Who cares?
Well, they don't, right?
That's what I'm saying. In a capitalist society,
Right, which is
I
why I'm a
don't care.
leftist who believes in things like UBI, because I know that we are moving towards that in a lot of positions, and it's probably going to be more beneficial to take these people out of manufacturing jobs in those positions and put in machines because it's not safe for them. So it's going to be better. But I still believe in taking care of the people and that the government should be going for the general welfare of the people. And so I believe in things like UBI. The right damn sure doesn't.
but it,
And I also want to challenge
But
that
it-
because your capitalist leaders are so concerned about the birth rates. And there's many reasons to that, but one of them is for the economy.
Well, like Crow just said, yeah, the worker, you still need the worker to buy what the robots are making.
who said that?
Crow did.
I didn't say I want robots to replace us. I said the capitalists do.
No, right, but
Who
we're
said
in a
that?
capitalist society, and that is, and regardless, that's not really on one side, Democrat or Republican. We are moving that way. We are moving towards automation. It's just the way the technology is going, and you're still going to need people to be alive to be able to purchase the products that automation is making.
And I always like
Well,
to say Blacksmith said this about cars too.
Right. And so I guess my question is, if you kick a bunch of people off of employment for whatever jobs, manufacturing, let's say, because that's kind of an easy target. So you kick all the people doing manufacturing off their jobs. Well, now they're not paying in to the single payer system. So now you have fewer people paying in, and because of population growth, more people using the system.
We already do that.
So
You already
some
pay for
point-
people who don't pay in.
to a point, yes. But there's
I think people think that when you get money out of your check for your insurance, I think people think that it's in some special pot with your name on it. It's not. It's, to me, it's like a credit union in a bank. That's why when we have runs on the banks, it's bad because they don't keep all that money in one place for you all the time. They use that money for other people who are needing it.
right. You used an acronym before, and I don't. What is UBI?
Universal basic income. So it is basically a living wage that you're getting every month so you can afford to survive.
Huh. Well, again, I hate to be that guy, but why not just cut out the middleman?
What middleman?
Money.
Sure. Hi, comrade.
I
You're a
mean-
communist.
I mean, if
I mean, you said why not cut out the middleman? That's what health insurance companies are.
Yeah.
Health insurance
if-
companies
if
are the
you-
middleman.
for healthcare.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
They're
get in
the
the way
ones
of collective
that
bargaining.
yeah. Yeah, that's that's what they are. What other purpose does a health insurance company serve except for being a middleman? That's all that they
I
are.
would say that health insurance companies serve the purpose of, if I get into some catastrophic thing where I have an accident or injury or illness that needs care that I can't pay for, that's where they step in.
Okay, but in a single payer system, the difference is that so in a single payer system there is, in theory, one insurance provider, which, to Moni's point, that means that as far as collective bargaining is concerned, a doctor or like a pharmaceutical company or whatever, like any company, when it comes to setting prices, the negotiating power is much stronger in a single payer healthcare system because the government can say, yeah, we're going to pay $10 for this aspirin, and that's what you're going to charge, or you're not going to get access to the 300 million people that I have on my insurance plan called Medicare. And then the doctor's like, oh fuck, okay, yeah, all right, cool. So then they do that, right?
Isn't that
the
isn't that
idea
just
with
fancy price fixing?
no, it's collective bargaining, it's negotiating, right?
Mhm.
So the same thing is true
It's
with,
negotiating if you have a choice.
I mean, they do have a choice. They can choose to accept the price, or they can choose to, I guess, operate outside of Medicare. Like the same thing is true right now with insurance companies. So like I think there was a story a while back of like some major hospital in Georgia was basically refusing to negotiate with, I think, Anthem or Cigna, and they were like, "Okay, cool, yeah, we'll just you will not be in our network, fine." They did the nuclear option, said we'll walk away, and it's a big insurance company. I can't remember which one it was, and it was a major hospital, so that was a problem. It's the same thing how it is now, except that instead of private entity, it's the government, right? Like, don't get too bogged down on that. The point is that the private insurance companies are the middleman, and they are the ones that are ultimately charging you, right? The benefit that they provide to you is that, okay, well, you know, shit hits the fan, we can cover you. Okay, yeah, but that's the whole idea behind single payer healthcare in the first place, is that yes, the shit is inevitably going to hit the fan, and we as a society agree that this is something that everybody should be allowed to weather without having to go bankrupt for it.
Well, and maybe I'm just too much of a leftist, but I don't even like using buzzwords like price fixing as if it's a negative, because to me, my concern is the benefit to the American people and to the people who need help the most. And so why do I give a shit if companies are complaining about what they can and cannot sell stuff for? I'm not a capitalist, so I don't care.
Yeah.
So I say price fixing, and you're like, and
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. And your point is? I'm not saying that you can't have rich people. I'm just saying that those rich people can't be rich to the point of being unethical and people being harmed. Children should not go hungry while they blast rockets that explode into the air. Shouldn't be a thing.
huh?
I mean, I can make a pitch for Medicare for all from a, I guess, a quote unquote Republican perspective. If that'll work better for you.
Pretty sure you
I've-
and I always make the
I've-
same pitch, Nemo.
Yeah, I've figured out like every which way to pitch this. I can pitch it from a left wing, right wing, a libertarian,
Medicare
almost.
specifically.
I'm sorry.
Nemo
For
and I
Medicare?
always argue. Yeah, Nemo and I always argue that Medicare for all is a Republican idea. Like, it's a super conservative idea. It's actually a super capitalist idea.
Yeah. Yeah, Medicare for all. So like so yeah. What we've been talking about, universal health care. Do you want me to pitch it to you as a Republican?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. All right. Do you own your own business?
No,
Okay. Were you planning on starting a business at some point?
no.
Oh, okay. Well, fuck. Let's just pretend for a moment that you
I can do the spiel without him owning a business.
I mean, like, either way, like, let's say that you wanted to start your own business, right? And so, small businesses, backbone of America, you know, we're the enterprising, whatever. Cool. So, instead of having to worry about hiring someone whose job it is to interface with health insurance companies, right? A benefits coordinator, right? You're going to have to hire one and then probably also a second one, right? Because that one's going to go on vacation at some point, right? So you probably want to have two on staff. That's two salaries, two sets of benefits. Instead of doing that and depending upon someone to be your liaison between your private business, your small business, and fucking Anthem, right? Instead of doing that, why not just say, all right, cool. The insurance is handled by the government. I don't have to think about that. I, as a small business owner, do not have to think about that. Cool. I can focus more on me being a small business owner. That's great, right? But also, from an employee perspective, so your case, why is it that whenever you get a job, you have to then become an expert in health insurance? It seems like once a year when open enrollment happens, but also whenever you get a new job, you got to figure out how to navigate health insurance. What is a copay? What is coinsurance? What is a premium? What is an out of pocket maximum? What is a deductible? What is out of network? Blah 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 blah. Right? What are all these things? Right? I learn them and then I forget them. Right? I hate that. And then having to figure out, do I really need dental and vision? I'm not sure. Okay, high deductible, high copay. I mean, that sounds kind of cool. Blah blah blah. So instead of having to deal with all of that as an employee working in whatever, a mechanic, instead of you as a mechanic having to suddenly learn health insurance and all the jargon with that, because that should not be your job. Instead, you get a card whenever you turn 18 or whenever it is, and you don't have to think about that. You don't have to worry about it. Cool. Also, you as an employee, the market, the Republican idea is that the market should decide. Competition is what's good. Well, you as an employee cannot adequately, compete because you are sometimes shackled to your employer because of your health insurance. So, like, sometimes employers have really ballin' health insurance, even if the rest of the employer experience is god-awful. I had one of those jobs in IT. They did third-party IT support for doctor's offices. They had amazing health insurance, like $20, and I got everything covered. It was crazy, right? Now, if you got a family, or maybe, you're just not a healthy person or whatever, that is one of those things you have to consider. And it might keep you at a job that you don't like, and that there's a better job across the street, and you could get that job and the pay might be better, and you might like that job better, and the entire experience would be better, but their health insurance sucks. And you would actually end up paying way, way more for whatever insurance they have. And that sucks. And because of that, you are making a worse choice because of a dumb system, right? That's not competition. That's not the market deciding. That is a weak company surviving solely based on the fact that they've got this one thing that you need, and they can treat you like shit the rest of the time, right? Whereas you might be like, well, I'm able to get a job somewhere else, but I can't because I got 2 kids and this is pretty good insurance. That to me doesn't make sense, right? That it keeps you there longer than you should, or that you want to be.
See, my stance is just a pure economic stance. I could just argue this that it's cheaper and better for the economy to have national health insurance. Like, I don't even need to get into all that. It's actually a very simple list. Poor people get sick. Sick people without insurance go to the ER. They can't pay it. We pay it anyway because we pay. Premiums go up. Grants get into hospitals, etc. People that have to wait longer to get preventative care are more likely to develop debilitating illnesses that take them out of the workforce, which means they're not as productive as they would be previously. So a healthy workforce, just logically, is a more productive workforce. So if we're going to pay for them anyway, we should want to pay for them up front, where they can get the preventative care, keep them in the workforce, keep them producing. And almost every model for this shows cheaper. The tax increase is lower than the average premiums. Like, I looked at the last model that was put forward by Bernie, and my taxes would have gone up by $300, but I'm currently paying $500 a month for insurance, so I would have still net $200 more in my paycheck. Everybody would have been covered, and we would have had more people in the workforce because there would be less people taken out due to things that could have been caught due to preventative care.
Okay, but then you have more people in the workforce, which means now we're paying more.
You have more people in the workforce, which means
That's
that you
gonna
have
go
more
up.
people paying in.
You means you're producing more as well. You're producing more. You also have more people spending money in the economy because they are now in the workforce generating income, which they can then spend in that economy.
The ripple effects of healthy people for a society are very, very far reaching.
argue that it's a actual national health care is a capitalist idea because it gives you more employees who have more money to spend in the economy to continue to both produce the products that you sell and then purchase the products that you sell.
Right, but if I reduce the number of employees, I reduce my expenses.
But this is where we get back to what I mentioned in the chat earlier. If everybody automated, because like I'm on board for full automation whenever possible, but then we would have to have a way to continue the economy going. Because if we automated every possible thing we could automate, which is the direction we're going in anyway, but we don't have a consumer base for that automation, then all of the automation means nothing. Because if I make chairs and I now fully automated my chair line, but there's no longer anybody to buy the chairs, then I just have a mountain of chairs and no customer base.
Yeah. So I guess that
You'll always need exactly, because you'll always need the working class to have money because you need customers.
Or it just becomes a self-eating snake.
Yeah.
I want with just Star Trek, fully automated luxury gay space communism. Fuck yeah.
I fully support this plan. I second this motion.
Did he say communism?
You're breaking up. What'd you say, Adam?
It's an ancient Star Trek joke. Ancient leftist Star Trek joke is that Star Trek is fully automated luxury gay space communism because like the Federation doesn't do money. You just get what you need. Everybody contributes, you get what you need, that kind of thing. That's how Star Trek, that's how the Federation like operates.
So who controls the means of production?
Ideally, the people, right? But I mean, if you're asking in Star Trek, that's a whole other thing. That's
That would be the Federation.
long
That'd
conversation.
be the Federation of Planets would be the short answer.
Huh. Well, y'all have given me a lot to think about. My lunch break is over. I gotta get back to evil work.
Well, I appreciate you spending
Because-
it with us.
Enjoy your capitalism.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I've got some Googling to do. In the meantime, enjoy your live. It's been fun.
Thank you, Adam. I appreciate you having a civil conversation. Have a great rest of your day.
As we were discussing this, I'm looking at apartments, and I'm like, huh.
Apartments where?
Still in Tennessee, closer to where he works and where I work.
Look, I take it as some sort of a win that one, he was writing stuff down to look up what we were talking about the entire time, and two, he said, "Why don't we just eliminate money?" I take
That
that
was a
as a
massive
win.
one in my books.
Yeah, that's a win
yeah.
for me.
Down. Money's made up anyway.
Right?
The game
That's-
where everything's made up and the rules don't matter.
Whose line is it, anyways? I can't look in the bathroom. That's stupid. It won't let me.
That's why I always pitch national healthcare as like from a dollar and cents point. Because like even at the most baseline level, the most basic instinct of I only care about me and mine, right? Since most models the tax increase is lower than premiums, that means at the base level instinct of I only care about me, having $200 more in my paycheck appeals to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If we're gonna as much as we might disagree with the idea of worker exploitation, if it's what they're so used to it as a mindset, we know that they're just so used to it as a mindset within capitalism. Use it against them and explain it in that scenario.
Well, somebody's got to say their goodbyes in the next 8 seconds.
Cannot.
I have had as a joke misandry done to me on panels 3 times today. Please no.
Oh, you deserve it, Crow. You deserve it every time, and you know.
No, it was like Jess would come up and be like, I want to do a misandry. Bye, Crow. Boom.
It was.
Martina,
just
I want to do a misandry. I want to goodbye, Crow. Boom. I'm just like, and it all came down to I was the only man on the panel.
I don't,
So I
I don't
just kept
think.
getting kicked for misandry.
I don't think Nemo
I'm just-
knows what's about to happen.
No, and I think it might
No.
happen to Nemo.
You can boot me. Like it's cool. I just want to talk about the Medicare
It's
thing.
me. I'm just going to go do my Canadian healthcare ADHD pre-assessment. So
I'm just looking at a. Nemo,
not
now
that
you're
she's-
one of us.
Exactly, and she invited you right back. It's not that she's booting you for any particular reason, other than
It's
the
just-
fact that Audie is my agent tyrant, and
Not
she
the tyrant. That's crazy.
This is the hazing ritual. If you have not been hazed here, you get dropped by Audie.
Though to be fair, sometimes it is permanent when this panel is too big and we cannot get off.
Yeah, sometimes, but she'll let you know in the comments before she does that.
Thing somebody said, unless the oligarchs don't care if it continues, you just want to drain all the money out. To what end, though? Because eventually you just have like 12 dudes that have all the money, but no way to make more money because there are no more consumers.
Right. What happens then? They just sit on a mountain and toast with cigars? Like, I don't know what happens in that scenario.
Toast cigars?
Like toast with champagne.
Oh,
If we follow-
I thought you
if we-
said toast cigars. Like,
If we follow
Cigars.
Star Trek, we know the answer because it happened in Deep Space Nine. They were called the Bell Riots.
I swear I'm awake, guys.
Right, that would be my assumption, right? It gets to be like everything we've seen in the history of ever, which is when you get sick of the tyrannical people who have too much money, they go away.
Yep.
Know that in Star Trek, we're supposed to be now currently on the path to joining the Federation because the Bell Riots were supposed to happen September of last year. September 4th of last year, so September 4th, 2024 was the date in universe in which the workers rose up.
So we're behind. We need to get on that. I'm not looking forward to the fact that the next couple of days in this week, they're going to start talking about not only the Japanese deal that we had to talk about yesterday. Apparently he did a deal with Indonesia, so they're going to bring down their reciprocal tariffs from 99%, and then ours are coming from 32% down to 19%. The issue I have is they think this is some sort of win when before he came into office, we had a 3.3% tariff on Indonesia. So how is this better? We're still paying more than we were. They're not smart.
Really doing one of the most annoying parts of my job that I have to do. They're called ex parte reviews. It's like, so food stamps just closes if you don't get me your paperwork, right? Your renewal stuff. Medical, I have to attempt what's called an ex parte review, which means I have to go through every database I have access to see if I can just keep your medical coverage going without you submitting anything.
That's so nice of you, though.
And then if I don't have the access information I need, then I can close you. I like that we do it, but also, like, mechanically it's annoying. You know what I mean? Like, I approve of the policy, but as the person doing the policy, it's annoying.
My mom does, probably not as extensive, but similarly, my mom works for the school district for registering. And if people don't bring in the shot records for their kids, like, she has access to the database and can look them up, but she's also like, why didn't you just bring them so I don't have to do this?
I'm so confused.
By
Looking
what?
at this apartment, the laundry stuff is in the bathroom, like the washer and dryer.
I've seen that before.
The interesting policy thing is, if I can argue it justifiably, I have a lot of leeway. So, like, I tend to keep people on as many programs as I can, as long as I can figure out a way to word my justification well enough for the government.
Nemo,
can
can you
often-
explain this background picture? I've seen it on Twitter, but I have not seen, like, I don't know what it means. What is
Isn't it supposed to be a runoff of Kendrick's album?
Yeah. So, you know Kendrick Lamar, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, Not Like Us, the album cover was a satellite picture of Drake's mansion, like where he lives, and the little red pins. It's Predators. It's like, oh yeah, yeah.
Oh,
and so this is
okay,
the White
okay.
House.
Now that makes sense. See, I was like, I'd seen it on Twitter a couple times, and I'm like, I don't understand. Like, I assumed it was some sort of like target of something, but I was like, oh,
What are we doing?
are we doing Designated Survivor again? What's happening?
Oh, look.
Everybody shut up. My wife came in and I seen it. Everybody shut up. My wife is here. My delightful wife, Randy, is here.
Hi,
Hello, wife.
Miranda.
I love you. I love you.
The aggressive. I love you!
My need to overshare is wanting to tell Olive that it's oh. Bye, Crow.
Damn. Bye, Crow.
Aww.
It's because it's closer to water.
I want it
piping.
known. Ari kicked me for saying I love my wife. That means Ari hates Verandia. You all saw it.
It's closer to what, Megan?
The piping, so you don't have to install as many like water pipes in the apartment building, and it's cheaper.
Look, Izzy, I call you a simp because it's more fun than calling Crow a simp, because Crow would be like, yeah, you both wear it with pride. It's not a negative thing, me calling you a simp.
When dude's on fucking TikTok, he'd be like, "You're a simp." I'm like, "Wait, am I not supposed to adore my fucking wife? That's weird. Why are you weird? Why do you hate your wife? Why are you in a marriage
I'm-
if you hate your wife?"
They hate
I'm
their
just-
wives.
They hate their wives.
They don't
I'm
want
just
women,
teasing.
bro.
I kicked you for derailing from Olive's question about laundry and bathrooms.
Nell Bell said, I'm a Nemo simp.
I brought it back anyway.
We all know you're the boss, Nell Bell. I don't know why.
It's true.
Yeah, no. See,
My favorite time that topic came up, Olive, was from my own mother, who, when I first got with Verandia, accused Verandia of being a gold digger when Verandia at the time made more money than me. That was
That's
really
always
funny.
my favorite.
That was really fucking funny, actually. Like, my mom just kept being like, "She's just after you for your money," and I'm like, "What money, Mom? She makes more than I do. What?"
wait.
Listen,
No,
I may be a
no.
stay-at-home mom, but my husband is the one who cooks and he knows how to sew. He just got this like really old, like it's called a Singer, and it's like installed on the table sewing machine that he's like fixing up. Like he's super excited about. He gardens.
That's so
like,
cute.
all in way of the like stupid societal gender roles. Like that's on him.
You're just right. For some reason, my mom has an irrational hatred of my wife, and I've never figured it out.
Your mom still hates me. Damn.
Y'all, do you think I have time how long it takes me to complete the ADHD self-report scale with how many times I'll get distracted while doing it?
Probably not. They didn't
No.
set up a good system, did they?
Do you want to know why my mom's hatred of my wife is completely irrational? Because 92% of the help my mom gets from my household is either my wife directly doing it or her making me do it. Because like I get too angry at my mom too quick, and I'll just be like, "Nah, I'm not talking to you for 2 weeks." And then Miranda will be like, "No, but you got to actually go over and help her." And I'm like, "I don't fucking want to." And she's like, "But she's your mom," and I'm like, "Fine."
Right, so
Fine.
She takes up for your mom, and your mom is still like, nah.
Your mom's a psych.
Tell my mom that too. I'll be like, "I don't know why you hate this woman. I'm only here because she made me come here."
My wife said I had to help you.
I think I see. This is what happened. We did it with PSYOP, and then we did it with Adam. When we actually have good conversations where they're listening and engaging and asking questions, MAGA is
Maybe
like,
that's
"Nope,
the
not for
sign
me."
I won't have good conversations, and I'm content with that.
Or like Dawn said, they're mourning Hulk Hogan. They could all be in mourning.
Did you
right
see
now.
that, Nemo?
Yeah, I heard.
The Reaper
Yeah,
keeps
what
missing.
What was the cause? I'm assuming.
Heart attack?
Cardiac arrest.
Oh yeah, that'll do it.
Shocker.
It's all that
Dude
grease.
whose entire personality was high blood pressure had a cardiac event.
No way!
Yeah, I mean, that's what happens whenever you take steroids at like 70 something years old. Yeah, that'll do it.
I'm just surprised
I
Ozzy
hope the
lasted
Grim
as long as
Reaper
he
with
did.
wearing a Booker T-shirt is.
That's crazy.
I've been
Don.
into wrestling since I was a kid, and the only modern wrestler I care about is Kenny Omega.
I had an ex-boyfriend who was obsessed with fucking John Cena, and he was like in his like late 30s.
Oh my god, I don't know. Is it still over there? I don't know where my husband got this. He got this John Cena figurine. My son isn't even into wrestling anymore, and I don't know why. And it's just in my room, and I don't like it.
It just sits in your room.
I mean, I will say,
I mean, you guys
Out of-
aren't going to be able to see him, obviously, but
out of like all the wrestlers and stuff,
why?
Tiny.
out of all the wrestlers, John Cena, he's actually a pretty awesome human. I think he has the record for the number of like wishes granted at like the Make-A-Wish Foundation, because a lot of kids, they really like him because he's always been like the good guy or whatever for the last 20-ish years or whatever.
His dad's a former
And he will
wrestler.
show up.
It's cute.
His
I love
dad's
that.
his dad's a former wrestler and now a practicing lawyer, and he used to be a regular customer of mine at the cigar joint.
Yeah, no, I've heard he's a good person, and he's funny in some of the movies he's in. So I mean, I'll take it. I just don't understand why I needed a figurine of him on my bedside table.
And
Don't ask
why
questions.
didn't you need a figurine of him by your bedside table?
I guess.
I mean, you could have. Never mind.
Did?
Yeah, so I looked it
I,
up.
I'm
I was
gonna be real.
curious.
I have a lot of stuff to do. I only came up for that conversation. I'm going back to my show now. Y'all have a good day.
Oh, now that I
Bye,
get up here,
bro.
you fucking leave, bro.
I don't like you. Okay, that's something.
That's fair.
Separate the children.
This is right. They're gonna keep fighting.
If I let someone do that stuff with their fingers to me, I wouldn't like them either.
Damn.
Audie is just
Sorry.
bringing people up so she can drop them now. That's what's happening. To be fair, it's fine. It's going to be lunchtime soon, so that's.
So you want me to try to run that background and see how it goes?
Yeah, you could try it. Because I made it. I had to go into ChatGPT and make it, which is funny because it's so specific. It's like, I can make this image, but like I was very specific when I wrote it, and they're like, I can make this image, but I can make it as a former president. Like couldn't make the image using Trump, but it was like former president doing this. And I was going to actually have it say EP files, but it didn't like that either. So it did secret list at first, but then I was like, can you change it to client list? So
The secret list. Super secret.
You're all fake news.
yep, all of
That
it.
was uncalled for.
It wasn't.
Look,
any
I
of
just
us.
I just work here.
Like Blue says, I'm just here so I don't get fined.
She did it again.
One.
Just one.
So I looked it up out of curiosity. So this is from 3 years ago, and I'm pretty sure that he still literally has this. So 3 years ago, Cena officially broke the Guinness Book of World Record, or I'm sorry, the Guinness World Record for Make-A-Wish Foundation, which is granted. He's granted 650.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And like he goes all out. Like I mean, it's easy when you're a entertainer, you know, he can put on the character, but he's such an awesome dude for doing that. So yeah.
I love that.
I mean, like,
Why is
especially
there,
because if their
like,
wish
8
is just to, like,
closets?
meet you and have the experience, like, that's something simple I think that you should be able to do with the celebrity that you have. So I love to see that.
I think he also did some stuff with veterans. I'm gonna look this up. Go ahead, sorry.
No, I'm just complaining about how many closets are in this fucking apartment. There's like 8.
I mean, we have until November, but like, I'm just trying to get close to his job.
Okay, now I'm confused.
What?
Oh, Ari did it wrong.
What is that talking in the background?
11 to 2? That's how you're counting.
10 minus 0, 11 minus 2.
I can't count that high.
Okay, but who's paying for that tariff,
Let's go
Audie?
down.
Because Kevin told me that it was the other countries, and so I have to believe Kevin.
That fucking Kevin guy made me want to statistic myself.
He was like, yeah, it's what we charge other countries. I said, no, what is a tariff? It's what we charge other countries.
He
No.
was like,
This is painful. Thank you.
can't. My name's Kevin.
And
I
then he
know
went
what I
off
talk
on,
about.
Like, it's about the illegals. Like, he was like the epitome of MAGA brain rot. Just all of the talking points, pivoting, gish galloping from one point to the other. Like, wow.
Definitely wasn't the brightest bulb in the
I
box.
don't know, Jasper.
What's he doing?
He was sleeping, and now he's awake, and so he's gonna
Lucy,
attack.
baby. Hi.
Hi, baby.
Hi, Jasper.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, we heard
Damn.
God.
He said, "Rah."
Yes, I have heard about the South Park episode. Paramount's gonna pay for that one.
What was the South Park episode?
So Paramount paid South Park like 1.5 million or something for a certain amount of episodes. Their first episode features like naked Trump with a tiny thing in bed with Lucifer. There's a full AI video
Lucifer
of him
would
walking
never.
naked through the desert. It's pretty great. It's a whole thing.
Oh,
I'm
like
sorry, Lucifer has higher standards.
I just messaged Victoria about that. I don't think we'll have enough finances in order to get all of the cat. I just told you. I told Victoria about it this morning.
just because of different things we needed to get and stuff like that. But that doesn't mean we're not going to get another cat. It just won't be right now. I know. But I'm sure Olive will go to a good home. We're focused on my teeth. We're focused on the apartment.
Yeah, Eli, they recycled the Satan Saddam thing, but it was still funny because it was Trump.
Oh,
Bye, Nemo.
bye, Nemo. That was an Irish goodbye.
I mean, it's fine. I'm probably gonna
Yeah, you got me, kids.
gotta go feed the kiddos anyway.
Again, who needs food? I haven't had breakfast yet and I'm starving.
Go eat, Megan. Don't make me
It's
yell at you.
10. Oh, it's 11. Never mind.
Now it's gonna
almost
be
one.
brunch lunch.
Brunch lunch.
I do want to say, Nemo, thank you so much for coming up. I appreciate having your knowledge. I really do. I'm a huge fan of your monologues, as you know, when I'm in the Discord. I do love them. I've loved seeing you on Matt's, so that's been great. So I appreciate you coming up with all your knowledge. You're welcome.
Why is my
anytime.
shit freaking the fuck
Now
out?
Audie is counting down for other people.
No.
I'm waiting. Hold on.
It's gonna be me.
It's gonna be.
It'll.
Just as we started talking against you.
I'm gonna.
My goodness me. Let's get this box fixed because I don't like when it comes back weird. All right. Well, I was gonna say we. Well, I do love you all of you know I love you so much. I hope that you're doing okay with your tooth pain, and if you need help with that, remember to set up something that we can promote for you, because we will absolutely do that. You shouldn't have to live in pain like that at all. I love you so much. Yeah, if you want to try and run that as a background, we'll see if TikTok likes it or whatever and see how it goes. Like I said, I just haven't run it yet because I need to brush up on my Russia. It's been a while and there's a lot that goes into that, so it's a lot. I need to re-up on that before I can run it as a background, but you can definitely test it out. That's what that channel is there for. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for the likes, the heart me's, the gifts. Thank you, Todd and Izzy, for your feuds, because it really does help subsidize my income, and I love you guys so much for that. I appreciate it. I will see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday, anywhere between 9:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. Mountain Time, whatever time that is for you. Do not forget to check out my tree of links. I have my Discord server in there. If you are not in there and want to join, I can get you verified and join you in there. My other links to like Instagram, things like that are in there. TikTok doesn't like these words, so I'm going to get them out real quick. And we can have more conversations tomorrow. I appreciate you guys being here, and I love you so much, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.